you need.
Now let's talk about Mr. Beast. Let's try to hit all of our main topics here. So I think everybody had kind of a visceral reaction to this thumbnail. First of all, without even analyzing the content of the video, I think we can all just look at this and appreciate how fucking dystopian and weird it is. Like this man, the smile, first of all.
Why are the thumbos like that?
It's just weird, man.
This is this a new thing? I mean, if Mr. Beast is doing it, it must be like there must be a reason for it. But yeah, it's so creepy.
And then this kid who's like, obviously like fake Photoshop tears, but it's almost like, look what I did for this little fucker. I don't know. He's like, he thinks he's like the Willy Wonka.
The thumbo universally is like seen as like a weird one. But I think that's like the new meta, I guess, on YouTube is like a Darmon ass thumbo.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Beast, yeah, like you said, if Mr. Beast is doing it, then you know that's what it is.
Video has
and you know how
76 million views right now.
What?
Video has 76 million views, so something's working.
Yeah, I mean, immediately, and I saw some people talking about like this thumbnail's demonic.
Yeah, it was Lol Overruled who said that there's something entirely demonic about this thing, and he left it at that, and he just showed like the thumbnail, and people were like, "You're saying it's demonic to cure 1,000 people's blindness? Like, fuck you." And the dude that they're dunking on is like a fucking public defender. Like, dude, what do you mean? He's like, his entire life is fucking charity. You dickheads, shut the fuck up. Like, he's literally he literally defends poor people in the criminal justice system. Like, shut the fuck up.
People get very defensive of Mr. Beast, you know, and I get it. There's people that try to take shots at him, some journalists and stuff over silly shit. And he is, you know, a good guy that does good things, and people fucking just love him, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not criticizing I think he did a great thing. I think he did a great thing.
Yeah.
And I think the people who are criticizing it, you and others, the criticism is that the fact that we live in a country where so many fucking people are desperate for an entirely curable illness.
10-minute surgery.
Dude, it's an curable blindness. Like, they cannot see, and you can cure it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's just like, little suck.
And it's like so third world of us.
Well, I mean, but, so, even Mr. Beast, like, who is still very much a big fan of capitalism.
Can you switch to this?
He's a big fan of capitalism, Jimmy. And even he recognizes, despite being a big fan of capitalism, that this is like weird because he literally in the video says it doesn't really make sense because like these guys could just go back to work after their blindness is cured. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
that is, again, he has arrived at the heart of the problem, which is that it doesn't even make sense from a pro-capitalism perspective because you would have a more efficient labor force that you can, you know, that you can work harder if you want. From the point of capital owners, that's precisely the reason why most developed nations, if not all of them, have some form of either affordable or free healthcare for this fucking reason.
So the actually,
except for America.
And
we're pieces of shit.
I think Mr. Beast is actually getting a little bit radicalized from this, which is great, right? Because
I don't think he is.
But listen to this tweet. He says, I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again. That he's 100% right. And the reason is because we hate poor people.
No, the reason is because we can make more money. We can make more money off of this. Money! That's the whole point. It's like we are so desperately looking at any avenue we can to just squeeze out like the remainder profits that we can. And America is like accelerated on the capitalism, on the stages of capitalism, I guess, than other countries in the sense that like it's conducting self-harm to its labor force, to its citizens, specifically so it can make more money in the stock market and in general drive more profits. Because it's profitable.
I think because Americans hate poor people. They don't want to help other people. They think that they should help themselves.
Well, Steinbeck has the wonderful quote on this.
Mm-hmm.
Socialism will never work. I mean, I guess I'm paraphrasing it, and it's attributed to Steinbeck. But he says socialism will never work in America because the working class do not see themselves as the exploited proletariat, but instead temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
I think that was Mark Twain.
It's attributed to Steinbeck, but I don't think I don't think it's either of them.
I'm looking it up right now.
But yeah,
but it makes sense if it is Steinbeck,
right? Because we have this rugged individualism, and people, especially poor people, who are like, I'm barely rich enough to afford that. Then they go, I don't want none of my taxes going. They get obsessed with like, this is my money, fixing these goddamn homeless degenerates. Money. They're like, I cannot see, I cannot work. Go flip a burger, you degenerate. I cannot see. Well, that's your problem. Maybe your mama shouldn't fuck their cousin.
See you, old partners.
It's just it is unimaginably cruel, and it's very frustrating anytime I fucking see like the feel good stories that they run in the media specifically to be like, see, we have the power to take, matters into our own hands and save ourselves. And it's like, bro, everywhere else, like in fucking Brazil, people aren't thinking about this in the same way.
So in his video, something that stood out to me is he lists all these other countries that he's going to help people with preventable blindness. So it's like America, and then the other shit was like
it's just all African nations.
Yeah, like
all developing countries. It's America and then developing nations, because America is a third world country with a Gucci belt, straight up.
Jamaica, here, let's see.
Yeah, all
as many people as
of
possible.
Western imperialism.
Mexico one surprised me a little bit, but I guess we looked into that because Mexico does have universal. I guess it's just a really long wait to get it done. Honduras, Indonesia, Brazil, Vietnam,
In Brazil,
Kenya,
it's free too. In Vietnam, it's like also
Jamaica, and where we had the biggest impact of all, America.
Yeah. It's crazy though. Like as far as looking at those countries,
dead, incurable blindness.
Baseball
No.
games and picnics in July.
Curable blindness.
what is that? I don't know
Curable
what-
blindness. It's just 10 minutes with the needle, and you can see once again. That's America. All right.
Number one in police brutality per capita. Number one in like the prisoner population on the planet in totality, but also per capita. Number one in medical debt. It's just we are number one, baby, in like all the fucking worst ways that you could think.
It was Steinbeck, actually.
No, it is it is misattributed to Steinbeck regularly. I'm pretty sure it's not actually.
What I'm seeing is that the version temporarily embarrassed millionaires is not like, that's a later corruption of the actual quote, which is that everyone is a temporarily embarrassed capitalist, and that is Steinbeck. He did say that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I think the video, it exposes something really fucked up about our country, and that's why I think people were having a reaction, not to Jimmy, who obviously is doing a good thing. He's putting his money out there to help people, and that's awesome. But nobody wants to see how much we're actually failing the people of this country.
I think the funnier part about that quote that I have to also mention, the original quote, is from A Short History in Progress by Ronald Wright, and something that he has, like, Steinbeck has talked about regularly about communists is that he says, I guess the trouble was that we didn't have any self-admitted proletarians, people who are, proud of being working class. Everyone was a temporarily embarrassed capitalist. Maybe the communists so closely questioned by the investigation committees were a danger to America,